personal data safe, family records, addresses, phone numbers? Well, squeeze on over to freedomslips.com. Yes, that's www.freedomslips.com. Click the banner on the homepage for the EMP-proof bullet drive to get the full scoop of everything that we offer. So, folks, keep your data safe for your peace of mind. Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. You don't need to expect us. We're already here.
Hi, this is Bo.
And this is Rocco.
And the Bo and Rocco Show is here to offer insight into legal and lawful remedies. Our goal is to remain free and help others remain free in an ever-increasing police-like state. With the help of our guests, we try to answer questions such as what went wrong and what can we do about it.
So tune into Revolution Radio at www.freedomslips.com Wednesday nights, 10 to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to listen to the Bo and Rocco Show.
You don't need to expect us.
We're already here.
Revolution Radio.
Did you ever feel that things were not quite right? That everything was just ever so slightly askew?
Do you have, to paraphrase Morpheus, a splinter in your mind?
If you're interested in hearing the latest information about UFOs, the paranormal,
ancient cultures and structures,
monatomic elements,
longevity,
fantastic discoveries in science,
downloaded to your brain,
then tune into us. Hi, I'm Dave.
And I'm Mackie.
And we are Shiny Side Out, Sundays 2 to 4 a.m. Eastern. See you then.
Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. You don't need to expect us. We're already here.
This is Thomas, a.k.a. a Mad Painter. I'd like you to join me Monday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Open Canvas. Don't forget to bring an open mind.
Yes, folks, that's right. Bring an open mind to an open canvas. Again, that is Monday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern. UFOs to government corruption. This is Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. You don't need to expect us. We're already here.
Every Tuesday evening on Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com, we present our goddess spiritual warrior, Cathy Bilsky.
I command. I call to the architect of the universe's divine creators and ask for permission to quantum leap the world in all life forms on all planes and dimensions, seen and unseen, connected with planet Earth, to let us go beyond our known potential into the greatest unknown golden age the universes and worlds and all planets have ever experienced.
Cathy teaches the spiritual truth so that you may create a better life and be able to make positive changes for yourself and for the planet. She helps us remember that we are not powerless, but very creative spiritual beings having an Earth experience. Time to quantum leap into the age of divine enlightenment and let Cathy provide you with the tools of knowledge you need to awaken spiritually. That's the Quantum Leap Show. Let Light Unite every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern on Revolution Radio, Studio B.
Because you are human existence.
I believe that we are creatures not of bodies. I think we are expressions of life, we are expressions of spirit, and that we are not chained by gravities, by walls, by limits.
Okay, Revolution Radio, here we go. It is Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, and it is time for the Quantum Leap Show. Let Light Unite with our goddess spiritual warrior, Cathy Bilsky.
Night show, and this is June 30th. 2015. Tonight's show, we're going to have Andrew Wiltse come on, and he's a Brazilian blue belt world jiu-jitsu champion. And he's going to talk about the first hour about what it's like to live in the world of the martial arts. And then the second hour, I'm going to be doing the energy balancing, curse removal for everybody. I figure we're pretty due, especially going through the solstice. Whoa. Sorry about the noise, but the tractor should be gone shortly. All right. So we're going to do the energy balance and curse removal. I'm going to give you the radiation level for the week and a few interesting things that have come up, which you really need to know about. And we'll also do a little light circle, Planetary Healing Service circle. And, of course, we'll direct it at the planet and, maybe cutting the Pentagon from all forward war movement would be a nice thing to do this full moon, because we got the full moon coming up in 2 days. So you might really want to pay attention and, watch your emotions and watch your words. And I see Andrew. Andrew, are you there?
Hello.
Great. Andrew, I want to welcome to the show. This is Andrew Wiltse, and he's the world blue belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champion for 2015. How are you doing, Andrew? Hello? Hello, Andrew.
Oh, turn it down a little.
Andrew, are you there? Hello? I don't think he realizes we're on air. I love live show. Isn't this the best? Andrew, will you please speak? Hello? I don't know what's going on. I hear him, but I don't hear him. Yeah, I'm on radio. Well, I don't know how to get Andrew online. So what do we do? What do we do, Liz? Andrew, turn up your volume. I'm being texted right now. God, I love cell phones. They are so handy sometimes. Like now. Well, sorry, I couldn't type and talk at the same time. I'll ask Andrew to call back.
When do we compete at Worlds?
There we go. Hello, Andrew.
Hello?
There, I hear you. Do you hear me? Andrew, no. What can I say? He's gone.
Well, we can chat. Oh, here he comes back. There we go.
Hello.
Andrew, there. Can you hear me, Andrew?
Yep, I can hear you guys now.
Yay! All right. Well, welcome to my program, the Quantum Leap Show. How are you doing tonight?
Well, tonight I'm doing fantastic. We actually just finished up a pretty hard practice, so I'm a little loopy, but...
Okay, but you can still talk and communicate. This is good.
Oh, yeah, I'm good.
Andrew, give me a little bit of background about you.
Okay. I primarily train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I live in Mount Vernon, Illinois. I live in the gym. I train full-time, and by full-time I mean 6 to 7 hours a day. I just recently competed at the Worlds for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I won my division, and I didn't place in the Open, but I'm now a blue belt world champion.
Uh-huh. You know, we had you on the show a couple months ago, and this was actually before you became a world champion. And now that you've actually, made it there, how has it changed you?
Well, it's kind of nice to be able to tell people, I'm a world champion. I mean, most people, people that think they're good at something, maybe they're the top 100,000 of all the people that compete in that sport at whatever rank they're in. I mean, it's usually not very good. And then, I just went and competed, and I won worlds in my weight class, which is a big deal. I mean, it's a big confidence boost. I feel good when I'm going to another gym or I'm going to roll with someone else, like another person in my rank. I mean, these guys compete locally, and I was able to go out to worlds and win a world. So it makes me feel very confident.
Just talk a little bit slower, okay?
Sorry.
Can you, the more I meet the people that you're involved with, and the more I hear about the sport, the more impressed I am about it. And can you share with us what happened to you with another coach and what resulted from that?
Okay. So, like 4 or 5 months ago, I competed at the Pan Americans in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is the second biggest tournament in the world. And the very first round, I got this guy who he was incredible, and I beat him. I beat him pretty badly, and then I got his teammate in the finals. And after that, I went against his teammate again in the open, and I beat him. So his coach came up to me, and his coach is like this big guy. His name is Orlando Sanchez. He's a huge guy, and he just looks like he can be really mean. But he was probably the friendliest guy I've ever met in my life in this sport. He talked to me for about 20, 30 minutes, asked me about like where I trained, all this other stuff. And then what he did was he went and he got a hold of a company for me, which is a very big name company in Jiu-Jitsu. It's like they sell basically the premium deluxe gis. I mean, their stuff is very high quality. It's very expensive, though. And
you can name drop.
It's called Shoyu Roll. But basically, he said, look, this guy just beat my guys, and they were supposed to close the division out and probably win the open. And he said, you should just go look this kid up. He was really friendly. I liked talking to him, and so they did. And they actually got me sponsored by one of the biggest gi companies in the world. I mean, that's huge. That's like, as far as trying to make it in a sport like this, that's like making it. And I owe all of that to him. I mean, he was a huge success, and I saw him again at Worlds, and I mean, as soon as I won Worlds, the guy was one of the first people coming up and congratulating me, like almost before my coach got there.
You know, what I find really, really incredible is that, he did this out of the goodness. He saw, how good you are, and he didn't ask for anything. He didn't ask for nothing from you for doing this, did he?
No, as far as I know, he's gotten zero benefit out of it. I mean, the guy, he knew he wasn't going to get anything out of it. He just did it because he's an incredible person. He's a very friendly person. He wants to help the sport evolve, and his big saying is champions in life. I mean, if there was ever anyone that kind of exemplified that trait, I'd say it's him.
Well, that's what really impressed me, and I really, really appreciate the sport. The sportsmanship that many people display is very amazing.
Oh, yeah. In Jiu-Jitsu, you can't really be egotistical because there's always someone in your gym that can beat you up, and if there's not someone in your gym, there's someone you'll run into out in California that will definitely beat you up. So you got to accept losing. If you know there's people out there that you lose to regularly, it's hard to really be really egotistical. So you have to lose that trait or you quit.
So do you find now that you actually have worlds, that world title, that more people are trying to connect with you to learn from you?
I got about 25 messages from people that I'd never met in my life. I mean, they saw that I won worlds, or they saw me compete. They were watching the live stream, or they were there. And they were just messaging me, asking me like how often I train, all these, just asking me about my personal life, like seeing if I'd be interested in coming up and training at their gym. I mean, people really reached out to me. And I'm from a small town. I'm not used to any kind of publicity at all. I mean, I'm just kind of a very simple guy. I sit on the mats and I train all day. So having these people looking at me like this, that's a new feeling. I'm not sure how to deal with it yet. It's a good feeling, but it's just new.
Well, it sounds like you're dealing with it with a little bit of humility.
Well, I've lost in competition before. I know what it's like to lose. There's always someone bigger than you. And when you lose, you train harder. You just got to get ready for the next competition. It gives you kind of a target. I mean, especially if you're friends with the guy. I'm always friendly with the people I compete against, even if they beat me, if I beat them. I mean, I've made a lot of friends through competition. I mean, I see, we kind of get the same guys that go to all the big tournaments, like the guys that get top three always get on the podium. It's almost always the same guys because they just kind of stand out. So I run into them all the time.
Well, tell us about Pentagon Gym, but slower, okay?
Okay, so I train at a gym called Pentagon Submission Fighting. It's run by a brown belt named Heath Pentagon. And our big thing is we're a very competition-oriented school. So we don't do slow rolling. We don't do slow drilling. Everything we do is as hard and as fast as we can. And the idea is you can beat someone that's technically better than you if you can just go as hard as you can and push the pace for 5 minutes, 6 minutes, whatever the round time is. I've won matches where the guys were, I should have lost the match because the guy was really slick. I mean, he'd been training longer than I had, but I was able to just keep pushing, basically just attacking as long as I could. And eventually the guy just kind of crumbles and he managed to pass his guard, and then you can kind of see when they give up in the matches, like they're just not interested in trying to win anymore. In their head they lost, so they actually lose. So we do a lot of like competition-oriented jiu-jitsu, and like what that is a lot of like playing off your back, and then the new style of guards that are coming out, like spider guard and de la Hiva and reverse de la Hiva, and it's all this stuff where the guys that were doing jiu-jitsu 20 years ago, I mean, this stuff just wasn't around, so the old school guys don't think it works. But if you watch the black belt competitions and the guys that are winning at black belt, they're winning using this stuff. So what my coach does is he spends like 2, 3, 4 hours a day. He just goes and he downloads all the tournament footage from all the recent tournaments, and he just watches what the black belts are doing, and he breaks it down. He sees them do a move, and he's like, okay, what just happened there? So he pauses it, and then rewinds it, watches it, slows it down, pause it, rewind, come in the gym, and he's like, hey, I want you to try to do this, and he'll try to figure the system out and whatever they're doing. And then as soon as he feels he's got all the kinks out of it, that's when he'll teach it to us. So we're very up to date on all the new stuff that's working. And that's why our guys do exceptional in tournaments. At this gym, we have 5 world champions, and we have 11 guys that have medaled at PANs or Worlds. And to put that into perspective, most gyms, big Gracie schools, they've got 300 students. They might have 1 or 2 students that have done that, like medaled at all, like even got a third at a PANs or Americans, the Pan Americans or Worlds. And we have 11. And we have maybe 50 students, so we're small. So, that's a big deal.
Now that you've won the world title, are you training differently? Because, it's like, the quick draw of the West, right? You've got the quick draw, and now everybody's going to come gunning for you.
Well, it definitely put me on the radar. I kind of got on some people's radar after I won the Pan Americans for the second time, and then I did really good in the Open. I got third in the Open. So people were already kind of trying to look me up and see what I was doing and like kind of get ready to go against me. And now that I won the Worlds, it's funny because now I'm going to be going up to purple belt and competing at purple belt. And all these purple belts keep adding me, and I look them up, and they're in the weight division I'm going to be in. They're just trying to see what I'm doing, like if I'm going to post a video on Facebook or what kind of training I'm doing, so they're getting ready to go against me. And it's funny because I don't really think like that. I don't like think, okay, I'm going to get ready for this guy specifically. I just want to be able to go up there and beat anyone or anyone, like everyone I go against. So I train and more generalized. I just want to be able to win all the time, not against one person.
Well, what I'm really impressed with your fighting is that you really have gotten a reputation for taking them down really quick.
I used to be the kind of guy, I didn't like when the guys would pull guard and they would slide in and they'd play off their back. And then I used to think, you should go for the takedown and you should be on top the whole time. But my opinion on that kind of changed a little bit. I think in MMA, you should always try to be on top. I think you should work, your jiu-jitsu should be good on your back, but you shouldn't try to be on your back. If someone puts me on my back, I'll use it. But my ideal place to be is on top of the guy. So yeah, takedowns are a huge aspect of the sport. But in competition jiu-jitsu, you actually don't have to have almost any takedown ability at all. You can slide underneath the guy, get collar grips. You can be really technical off your back, and you can sweep the guy over and come up top. You don't have to know how to wrestle even a little bit. You don't need to have any judo. It's just a different sport.
Okay, you've talked about two different sports, and now I want you to clear this up. What is the difference between mixed martial arts and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
Okay, so Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a grappling martial art where we're the ones doing chokeholds and armbar, like joint manipulation arm bars. There's no striking in the actual system of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But what mixed martial arts is, it's like everything combined. You put on gloves and you're hitting each other and you're throwing knees, you're throwing kicks, and you can throw your opponent, get on top of them, and you can still do all the chokes and everything. So it's like in MMA, you've got to know Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You can't do a fight and not be good at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because it's just too effective. I mean, you could be a kickboxer, but if I can take you down, you're just going to lose if you don't know how to at least defend yourself against what I'm going to be doing to you on the ground. So it's probably the most important thing you could learn if you're going to fight in the cage. After that would probably be like Muay Thai or kickboxing, and then some takedowns, and it kind of goes on from there, branches out a little bit. But you have to have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu if you're going to fight. You actually live in the gym and you put in a lot of hours. This is your chosen life, isn't it? I've kind of known I wanted to do this for a long time. So when I got the offer to just come move and live and train full time, I was like, yes, immediately. I just jumped on it. I didn't even know the guys down here. I'd talked to heaps for 20 minutes, and just the fact he gave me that opportunity, I mean, it was like a life-changing opportunity. If I'd have said no and gone to do what I was doing before, I mean, I have no idea where I'd be right now, but it wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be winning anything. I would be a nobody. So, like, you can look back in your life and you can be like, you can see where you can, like, flip a coin and just your life's going to completely change. Well, that was my life-changing moment when I decided to move down here and join this gym and just train full-time.
Well, what kind of people train there? What are the ages? What are some of the backgrounds?
We've got guys, like, first off, we have a kids class, ages like 7 to 8 to like 15, So, I mean, we have good days, bad days. It's not a big class yet. But then we also have adult jiu-jitsu, which we got ages like 18 to 50. We've got some old-timers that roll on the mats, and man, they're strong. I mean, it really, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is kind of like an all-body type sport. I mean, we've got guys that weigh 330 pounds that come in, and they just go as hard as they can. They're trying to lose weight doing this. And then we've got guys that are like super athletes. They don't even have to train, and they're just like, they've got 10 abs, and they don't never get tired. So we've got a mixture of everything. The guys that train at this gym specifically, though, are some of the friendliest, most intelligent gentlemen I've ever met in my life. I mean, we're not the guys going out and fighting at bars. We're the guys that are sitting around. We're telling stories. We're joking around. I mean, we just don't really have any conflict in the gym because everyone that comes here is really high quality.
Well, your family, which really, impresses me. And I have met a lot of the guys, and everyone is polite. They're, funny. They're fun to be around, and they're very kind. And, we might as well own up. Yes, Andrew, you are my son. And when I went to even watch you fight at the Worlds in Irvine, everyone was friendly and they were kind. If I had a question that, I needed to have answered about what was going on in the mat, anybody answered me. Nobody got upset, felt like I was intruding. It was really a great experience.
And that's a pretty good sample group for a gym. I mean, the guys you met were the guys that are really hardcore in the competition. So if there was ever going to be a group of guys that'd be kind of meat-headed, it would be those guys. And at our gym, we're just not like that. I mean, the guys that we have that train here that don't compete, I mean, they're even nicer than the guys you met. I mean, I'm super fortunate to be surrounded by people like this. They really kind of give you something to look forward to as far as developing your own personality.
Well, I'm going to give that one to your coach, to Heath Pentagon, because he's responsible for, putting this all together. And he is actually the one that is drawing all these people to him. And now that you're there, you're also kind of assisting. Yeah,
I'm hesitant to take any credit away from Heath. He is the man. I mean, if there was no Heath, there would be no gym. He does more than even the people in this gym realize to keep the doors open, to keep the lights on, and keep the mats here. I mean, he works 2 jobs just so he can help pay for the gym because he doesn't want to charge his students more than $50 a month. I mean, we have 50 students. I mean, most gyms charge about $125, especially at any kind of gym anywhere else in the world. And if they can say they've got 11 Pans and World's medalists, you better bet they're charging $200 a month. And then people pay it. But Heath is friends with everyone. It's not a student-master relationship. He's just our friend. No one calls him sensei. It's not anything like that. So he doesn't want to charge us more. So he comes up with the extra to pay for the gym and pay for his own stuff on his own. So I mean, that's just incredible.
He does it to me. He does this for the love of sport. But I mean, he's like a father to you guys almost.
That's very apt, actually. Yeah, me and my little brother joke around. We kind of call him our surrogate dad.
Oh, I don't mind at all. I like him. Go Heath. So if people want to come that are listening and really want to come train with you guys, how would they get a hold of you? How would they find your gym?
The easiest way to do it, and I know people kind of think Facebook's kind of weird and it's not for a business, but our biggest thing is Facebook. So they would look up Pentagon Submission Fighting on Facebook, and that's actually our instructor's account. Or they can look up my name, Andrew Wiltse, and just send us a message. I mean, we're pretty quick to respond. We just want as many people to come on the mats as we can. Our classes have been big lately. We usually have about 26 people on the mats. We'd like to get it up to 40 if we could. We just like people to train.
How do you spell Pentagon?
Pentagon is Pedigo, and then it's just submission fighting.
And then your last name is spelled?
My last name is Wiltse. It is Wiltse.
So, Facebook can be used for good or for not good. And, it's really, I think, a good way of contacting. So, for those of you that are listening, if you really want to be in a gym and be around people that are doing it for the right reasons and have really good sportsmanship, and it's like a family, you might want to give these guys a call because, they really are winners. They got the medals to prove it.
Oh, man, we've got hundreds of medals in the gym. It's so bad that they just kind of lay around. We don't have room to put them up anymore. Excuse me.
Then I think you better send a few to your mom, okay? I will put them on the wall for you, okay? Okay.
Now, this is actually something we've touched in class a lot. Would you rather have your medals sitting at home where 1 or 2 people will see them and it's just kind of like a private shrine to yourself, or would you rather have them sitting up in your gym where anyone that comes in can see them and it makes your gym look good? That's good for your team.
If you've got them laying around, like you just said, then send me a couple. I'll put them up at the store. Everybody will see them then, okay? Okay, we'll talk about that later. So when the kids come train with you, what are they getting out of it?
For the kids, I mean, depending on how old they are, they could be world champions. They could pick up technique really well, and they can focus. But if they're younger, I mean, I play games with the kids whenever I'm in the kids' class. I mean, me and my little brother teach it, and we just have them run around and do animals. And if they slack off a little bit, you don't yell at them. You don't make them focus. I mean, kids want to have fun. And then you got to make it fun for them so they'll keep coming around until they're old enough that they can really learn the sport itself. So, I mean, we've got a kid in here. He's about 190 pounds. He's 4 foot, and he's 11. I mean, this kid can barely do a sit-up, and he used to weigh like 210, and he's losing weight. And it's going to change his life. He's going to live to be 30 now instead of dying at 19 of a heart attack.
Oh, I hope he lives longer than 30. Good God.
Well,
there is life.
A serious thing. I mean,
yeah, true. Or when you put it that way, yes. But there is life beyond 30. So is he going there just to lose weight and?
I started as that, and now he actually likes the sport itself. I mean, his mom brought him in because he was not losing weight with what else they were doing. He couldn't, and she wasn't doing good with his diet, and he wasn't willing to exercise for her. So they brought him in, and then he really just kind of fell in love with the sport itself. So now he's making friends too.
Well, how did she learn about you? I mean, how does the mother decide I'm going to bring my kid into your gym because I want him to achieve and change?
You know, it's funny because we actually have very little advertisement in Mount Vernon. We don't really put up flyers. We don't put signs up. We have a billboard, but someone other than Heath pays for it, and it's just kind of like he just does it because he loves the gym so much it changed his life. I mean, we have very little presence in Mount Vernon. We're just kind of here. We do our own thing. They don't really, I mean, they kind of support us a little bit, but it's like a lot of people don't even realize that we're here. So I think it's a lot of word of mouth where we have this big kickboxing class, and it started as a women's kickboxing class, and then became men and women. And, you know, everyone talks about it up at the Y up here in the 24-hour fitness. They just...
Yeah.
I don't know what that was. But they just talk about it. They talk about how good our kickboxing class is, how friendly we all are, how good it's been for their lives. So they started coming here, and they're like, yeah, just come try it out. So I mean, we don't charge people initially anything. I mean, we'll let you come for like a month before we even talk to you about signing up or anything like that. We just want people to come train with us, you know.
That's pretty incredible. So do you also, because I know you went to college, right, for a couple of years?
Yeah, I did training sports medicine.
And how are you applying it now, that knowledge?
Well, when I went to college, I wanted to do that so that it could personally benefit me. So I mean, learning how all your muscles function, learning like the insertion and origin, how to deal with injury, how to properly stretch, how to warm up, how to build muscle, like muscle mass, and how to strength train, which are actually two different things. So I mean, it really just helps me, especially I do personal fitness with some people up here, and I like a personal training type thing. So I mean, I just immediately apply it. I know what to do, what not to do, and if I hadn't done the college classes for that, I would just have no idea. I mean, people don't realize there's a lot that goes into that.
So you would recommend, you know, definitely getting some college background behind the sport?
No, because everything I learned in college, I could have learned online.
Wow.
I mean, really, everything you learn, especially with this, they've really narrowed down fitness. I mean, it's not a mystery anymore. We know what works, what doesn't work, and it's published online. I mean, you can go on forums and read about it. The knowledge is just there. It's just some people have trouble learning in that kind of environment. So if you have trouble going and researching stuff yourself, the classes help. I'm very internet savvy. I'm good at researching things, so I could have just looked it up all online, which I actually had done prior to that. And then the class just kind of reinforced it, and it's like you have two different sources claiming the same thing. So you're like, okay, this probably works.
All right. Let's see. I've got my little no. So what would you recommend if somebody wanted to start off and come to your gym and say, okay, you know, I really, you know, my age, whatever. Okay, I want to get into jujitsu. How would you start them off?
See, we're a little different than most gyms. We have a fundamentals class, which is on Sundays, and we're going to start adding it throughout the week more, like Mondays and Wednesdays and Sundays. But for the most part, we tend to do trial by fire, where like every class will show a couple techniques, and then it's mostly live rolling. So I mean, if you're old and you have injuries, and you might have to set out of the rolling, you can just kind of do what you can. But for the most part, like I said, we're competition oriented, so it's mostly live sparring in the class. And you'll just, if you're new, you'll probably get tapped out 1,000 times, and then eventually you'll catch someone or something, and you'll start trying to use what you're being shown. And the guys will help you out too. They're like, okay, you got tapped by this because you didn't tuck your elbows in or something like that. And you'll just pick up knowledge over time because everyone is so friendly. And then once you start picking the knowledge up, you can start applying it, and then everything kind of clicks backwards. So you'll remember something you were shown like 2 months ago, and it'll make sense with the new context of what you just learned.
Now, to me, that's practical application. You learn, you study, and then you apply.
Yeah, we just do it with live sparring, though. And I think that's why we're one of the best Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu schools in the world, because we do so much live training that we're just ready in competition. There's no hesitation when we go to do something.
When's your next competition?
Right now, I'm actually kind of doing some crowdfunding right now. I'm trying to come up with some money to be able to compete more often. So I'm like selling shirts, going to some other gyms and doing private lessons and doing seminars. But I'm trying to do IBJJF Chicago, which is going to be in August. And I might do a tournament July 11th over in Nashville, Tennessee. I mean, there's just always tournaments coming up. August is going to be tight, though, because there's two big tournaments costs like $150 to enter, and it's going to cost like $100 between gas and hotel and everything. So, but they're like a week apart, and one's in Atlanta and the other one's in Chicago, so it's going to be rough.
Well, it seems to work out for you.
Yeah, we make by. I mean, we do what we can.
Well, let me ask you a question. What's your opinion on fighters that do steroids? Do you see a lot of that in competition? Can they get away with it?
You do see a lot of that in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because there's very little testing, and that actually testing is just now starting to come out where they randomly sample 1 in 10 black belts, and it's kind of biased. It's not random. They just know who ahead of time who they're going to test, but it is a big thing, especially in sports like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because what it is it's not about them being super strong and them being jacked up on steroids like that. What it is they can train. They can do 4 classes a day as hard as they physically can and recover before the next day and do it again. So they're getting way more mat time than guys that aren't on steroids. I mean, that, as far as competition goes, yeah, they shouldn't be doing that. If they just personally wanted to do it because they love the sport and they just wanted to train a lot and they were just too sore, then I see no problem with it. But if they're going to compete, I mean, some people base their lives on competition. Like me, if I can't win competitions, I've got no income. I've got no credentials to be able to teach. So if I go against a guy that's on steroids and he trains like twice as much as I do, which I train as much as I physically can without like my arm falling off, and if he could do twice that with steroids, it's not really fair.
Yeah, but do you find that people that are on steroids, they definitely have a different attitude when they go fight? They're maybe a little meaner, edgier?
There's 2 things about that. I think it takes a certain mentality to be able to say, okay, I'm going to take steroids. That already kind of filters out most people. And then steroids do have some, behavior-altering effects. But that varies person to person. Some people take steroids and it doesn't do anything to them, and they're just still happy people. And some people do get angry or they get a little more emotional. I mean, it's really just case by case.
Wow, is that why there's so many guys getting so emotional at Worlds?
I think they're emotional at Worlds because they train all year for that. They get one shot to try to be a world champion. If they win, then they're emotional because they won. If they lose, they're emotional because they just blew their shot.
Yeah, it was incredible, I have to say. Okay, so what would you like to share about the sport to people?
Well, see, I don't know. I like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because I've never been a guy that enjoys getting punched in the face. For me, I think of it as like speed chess. It's very technical. You don't have to be strong. You don't have to be fast. What you do have to have is a good mind to be able to see the move in your head ahead of it and plan ahead of your opponent, so you don't have to use hardly any strength at all because you're catching them unprepared. So it's a very technical sport. I mean, if you're good at like Call of Duty, video games, if you're good at chess, you're good at those kind of things, it would be a good sport for you because you can go at your own pace. You can slow the match down to a crawl, or you can buzzsaw your opponent and go as hard as you want.
Does it matter size?
Size is a weird thing because what you got is, the little guys move faster usually just because they can move themselves faster, and the big guys try to use their weight on you. But you said rolling difference. I mean, we really do have guys that weigh 330 pounds that roll with us every day, and we've got guys that weigh 120 pounds that roll with us every day, and they roll with the big guys. So I mean, I wouldn't say size would impact you at all as far as being able to train. It just kind of predicts what kind of style you'll have.
Do you also have a lot of police train in your gym?
We actually do. We have 8 or 9 cops that show up, and they mostly show up in my morning class. And they're very friendly. They love the gym. We love them. I mean, we're very pro-cop, especially because we have such high-quality people here. We don't have guys in here trying to sell drugs, or they don't go up to the bar and fight people, so it's a good environment to have them around. We're very supportive of our local police department, though.
Well, it sounds like a mutually beneficial experience all the way around.
Yeah, for them, I mean, I can't imagine being a cop and not wanting to learn something like this because this is tailor-made for cops because they're not allowed to strike people on the street, but they can do kind of holds to pin someone down and not get hurt and subdue their assailants. And then especially if you get in a life or death situation, I would want to be as prepared as I can. I mean, cops are out there risking their lives every day. Why would they not want to learn something like this?
Because they usually use their guns.
Life or death.
You know, if they would only really use this. Now, in Hawaii, I've seen the police officers do a lot more with their words and actually, you know, dismantling somebody with jujitsu and stuff like that. But, boy, on the mainland, I would think it's a different story. You know, they just pull out their guns too quickly.
What it is it's a confidence thing. So, like, one of the cops in the morning class talked about this with me one time. I asked him how he feels about using your taser and your guns. He says, well, I don't need to. I'm a big guy, and I know how to handle myself thanks to this class. So, you know, for me, it's going to be a last resort. Whereas someone physically smaller that's a cop, or say, like a woman, they're going to have trouble with someone that's huge or just jacked out of their mind, that's physical, especially if they don't know any Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or any kind of martial art. So their first response is that they're going to be a taser, which is not effective at certain ranges and also has a chance of not working, or their gun, which automatically escalates the situation from a stop and search to life or death for one of the two. So it's really a confidence thing. So they should definitely learn how to handle themselves just to reduce the risk of, you know, injury to themselves and everyone else around them.
You know, have you guys ever thought about putting together a video to direct it just at the police department and, you know, helping them train?
I haven't, not a video, no, because I'm sure there's thousands of videos online by, like, black belt world champions that had the same idea. But we have been talking about doing a class specifically for the cops. Some, like, a little less sport jiu-jitsu and more practical application type stuff.
Wonderful. I think that would really be a great thing. I'm in for that one. Anything that could stop the police from using tasers and their guns. I mean, my God, that's awesome.
No, I agree.
So, you know, you really have a tough coach, but, you know, he's tough but kind. And what is the main difference that you see between Heath and how the other coaches are?
He's our friend. For other coaches, it's a business. They get told by their financial advisors, look, don't become friends with your students, because what are you going to do when your student comes in and says, I can't pay this month, man? Tells you a big sob story, and then you're their friend. You're like, oh, it's cool, man, pay me next month. And then next month they say the same thing. Now you're out $200, and you use that to pay for your kids' food and your rent and to keep the building open and the lights on. So all the Brazilian coaches in, like, most main schools, they try not to be really good friends with their students, I've seen. And then Heath, out of his own pocket, spends money to go to all these tournaments with us. He's always there. If we get a tournament in Atlanta, he will be there, whereas most coaches, like, if you're at a big school, you got 300 students, and you're like, well, I'm going to go compete in Atlanta this week. And he's like, oh, good luck. He's not going to come coach you. I mean, he might have something else going on. He might just not want to go. But Heath is always there every single time.
Well, can I say something really great about Heath? And this is Pentagon Gym in Illinois. I asked him, why aren't you competing? And he really said, you guys were right now his main focus, and you were more important than his competing. And I thought that was amazing.
Yeah, we're definitely his main focus. I mean, he puts a lot of time and it's just energy and investing money into us. And he just does everything he can for us. It's almost like he doesn't even care about himself as long as we're happy and we're competing, we're winning, you know. This is just everything for him, like it's everything for me. I get more nervous when my teammates compete than I do for myself. And I'm sure he feels the same way when one of us is going compared to, like, when he did compete, you know.
Well, does someone have to have an athletic background to get into the sport?
Oh, God, no. We have this guy that comes in here, his name is Rocky Stanfield, and he's been training for about 5 years. And when he started, he was probably the least athletic person anyone has ever seen. And now he's one of the toughest people I know. I mean, he's not a super athlete still, but I mean, he's technically very, very sound. He's a hard technique is good. He can't bench press you off him, but he can push at the right positions with the right angle to make himself feel like he's very strong. So you don't need to be a super athlete to start this. I mean, just find a local gym in your town or one that's like 20 minutes away and just sign up. I mean, the guys that do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, they're okay with losing. They're friendly people. They just want to get better, and they want you to get better. I mean, just give it a try.
And again, if people out there want to come and study with you, how would they get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of us on Facebook. You can look up Pentagon Submission Fighting, PEDIGO, or you can look up Andrew Wiltse, WILTSE. Oh, I also have you could call my cell phone. It's what is it, bud? It's 618-316-8485. And I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Well, I think it's wonderful. And how old are you, Andrew?
I am 22 years old.
You know, I think that's quite an accomplishment for 22.
Well, I mean, there's some guys in the sport, they got their black belt at like 19, and they already won worlds. So I'm trying to do what I can. I'll get there.
Well, again, what I'm really impressed with is, you know, correct me, but if you want to be good at something, you really have to give it a lot of time and put a lot of your energy and intent into it.
Here's what my coach told me when I first moved down there. He said, dedicate yourself for 1 year to this. And I don't mean dedicate yourself like show up to a couple of classes a week and say you train full time. No, I want you to be on the mats as often as you physically can be every day for 1 year. And if after a year you don't feel like this is the thing for you, you'll know. You'll have tried it. I mean, this might not be what you like after that 1 year, but give it 1 year of 100%. Very few people ever dedicate themselves 100% to something. So I did. I mean, this is truly what I want to do.
Well, that's it. You know, if anybody, and you're gifted, you know, this is something that you are gifted in. And I will have to say, though, again, for anybody, if you've got a gift, pursue it. You know, put your all into it. That's probably what you're supposed to do in this lifetime. Why? Because it's what you're good at. You know, people come to me and they ask me, why am I such a good healer? Well, you know, if they did healing 10 to 15, 20 times a day, 365 days a year, they'd be good at it too. And that's just how much time you put in your sport, your career. Correct, Andrew?
There's a saying in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu that you can only suck for so long. I mean, if you're showing up to class every as often as you can, like 3 times a week, 2 times a week, eventually you're just going to get good. I mean, you can literally only suck for so long. You're going to pick up stuff, even if you're the worst learner that Jim's ever seen. You know, eventually you'll just get good if you stick with it.
Oh, that's very empowering. You know, I really like the attitude, and and this is the kind of attitude you have throughout the whole gym. Everybody has, right?
Yes, like I said, we're very friendly. We're very open. We just, we just love everyone that comes in. If you're good, that's how you make friends here. You don't come here and like try to bribe them, offer to buy them food. You come in here and you just train as hard as you can. The more I see you training on the mats, the more I like you.
Well, that's very nice.
This is literally my whole life, so like I don't really see people out around town. I'm just in the gym all the time, so it's pretty much when I see you is when you're at the gym. So,
well, that is your social life, huh?
This is my life.
So either the girl, I guess, if you want a girlfriend, or if a girl wants to become your friend, she's going to have to become part of the gym, eh?
Yeah, she can train into the school.
Well, how else is she going to know you because you're there all the time?
Competitions.
Okay, all right, ladies, listen up. And Guy, he is good looking, okay? And I'm not just saying that because he's my son. So what's, again, coming up for you, Andrew? What's your future?
I think I'm getting ready to get my purple belt soon, and then I'm going to go through them.
Now, what does that mean, getting your purple belt?
It means I'm about halfway to my black belt then. The belt system, it goes white, blue, purple, brown, black. And then once I get my purple belt, I'm going to try to go through. I'm going to do as many competitions as I can. I'm going to try to do the Big 5. I'd love to get the money together to be able to go out to Europe and compete at the European Open. and go out to Brazil and compete at the Brazilian Nationals and represent America out there. And then I'd like to go do Nationals and then Pan Americans and Worlds. Just compete as often as I can.
Wow. That's a lot of goals. And I'm sure, with your attitude, you will manifest a lot. You just put it out there. And after winning Worlds, you have gotten a lot more sponsors, haven't you? Because I know when we talked to you 2 months ago, you had none.
The big one I picked up was Shoei Roll. I haven't really got a lot more sponsors. And Shoei Roll sent me 3 of their gis and a lot of clothes. And, I mean, the stuff they send me is incredible. But I still have to come up with money to pay for, if it's out in California, I've got to fly. That's $300. Then I've got to pay for my entry fee for the tournament, which is usually about $100 to $150. And then I got to pay for my portion of the rental car, which I'm very fortunate we as a team travel together. So, if we're going to California, we all pitch in $20 and there's your rental car. I mean, all of it just adds up individually. It's like $500 a trip for me.
Well, yeah, that is. It all adds up. But again, this is your chosen field. This is what you have to work through.
If I'm going to come up with $500, I'll come up with $500 if I can. I mean, I wouldn't change anything for anything. I love going out and competing at these tournaments, and I just want to do it as often as I can.
Well, I'm very impressed with you, and so are people out there. And I think we're almost out of time. So if they want to have, people want private lessons, are you willing to travel?
Yes, I am willing to travel, depending on, it depends on how far, and, if they want me to travel 5 hours for an hour lesson, that's kind of dubious. But if there were, 5 guys at a gym, they wanted me to do, 5-hour lesson or a seminar or something, I would be more than willing to travel.
And again, they can catch you on Facebook and just look up Andrew Wiltse, Wiltse, or they can find you through Pentagon Submission, Jim?
It's Pentagon Submission Fighting, PEDIGO.
And I'm sure you guys know how to spell submission. Fighting. Okay. And what's the phone number? Is there a phone at the gym they can call?
There is no phone at the gym. It is my personal cell phone. If they had any questions about the gym or they wanted to come try it out or they were interested in getting something together and just, traveling and training or something like that, they can call me or text me at 618-316-8485.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Andrew, for coming on the show and sharing with us the wonderful world of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And again, I can say... Pardon?
I said thank you for having me on.
Oh, you're very welcome. Again, I'm just very impressed with everybody that you know and that you work with, because I've met the guys. And, if anybody really wanted to train serious and be around family, then I really recommend that they give you and Pentagon Submission a call or contact them through Facebook, because I think if you're really serious about the sport, this is a place you should train. Correct, Andrew?
Yes, absolutely correct. If you really want to get good and you want to win worlds, I highly suggest training with us. We've got a pretty good record.
And you all have sense of humor. You're from the Midwest. I love it.
We're the Midwest champions.
Well, thank you, Andrew, for coming on. And we're almost out of time. So you have... yes.
Yeah, real quick before you disconnect from me, I'd like to say thank you and give a shout out to Bear and Roach from Shoei Roll, and I'd like to say thank you again to Orlando Sanchez, who got me in touch with them and really kind of helped change the direction of my life as far as getting me that sponsor.
And Heath Pedigo.
And definitely Heath Pedigo. I mean, that goes without saying. I mean, that man changed my life more than anyone ever.
And your mother.
Well, yes. That definitely goes without saying. I mean.
Well, no, you got to say it. People don't assume it, okay? It makes me feel really good when you do. Well, you have good luck in all your competitions. Is there any videos up on YouTube that they can see?
If you go to YouTube and you search my name, there are videos up that you can look up. There's somebody made a highlight reel for me. It's from the few videos we do have, but yes, there are videos.
All right, and with that, we are done, and we'll be back for the next hour. Thank you, Andrew. Aloha.
All right, thank you. You have a nice night.
Well, welcome back, everybody. This is Cathy Bilsky, the Quantum Leap Let Light Unite show, and this is Revolution Radio at Freedom's Lips. Revolution Radio is listener-sponsored, and we really appreciate the donations that keeps us on air. So go to their website, Revolution Radio, and look up their donation button. And, you know, anything and everything definitely helps, and it keeps everybody on air, and you get to hear all these wonderful programs, and you get awesome energy work. So, you know, even if it's the price of a Starbucks cup of coffee, and I always say if you're really stuck and with your finances, the best way to really get things moving again is by donating and giving. And that creates space for the Creator to bring you in abundance. So I hope you enjoyed the last hour that I was talking with Andrew Wiltse, and yes, he is my son. And I will say, if you all understand, you know, I live in Hawaii, he's in Illinois, but this was one of the longest conversations I've had with him in a long time. It's kind of fun bringing him on air because then I can ask any question I want. Very cool. All right, so let's get moving on because we got a lot to do this hour. I wanted to give you the radiation level for where you live. And since Fukushima is in full bloom, so to speak, it's really necessary that you understand how high the radiation level is. And this is listed in counts per minute. A count is one radioactive decay registered by the instrument. Partial counts are noted. Uncounted radiation would make the actual count higher. And this was actually put together by Bob Nichols, who's an incredible man. And he also writes, and this appears in Veterans Today. So he compiled this information. Go, Bob, you rock. Now, you got to understand that normal radiation is 5 to 20 CPM, okay? That means 20. Count on your fingers, count on your toes, 5, 10, 15, 20. No higher. That's normal, okay? All right, so Concord, New Hampshire, 450. Boston, Massachusetts, 344. New York City, New York, 295 gamma only. Pittsburgh, 543 gamma and beta. Raleigh, North Carolina, gamma only, 460. Atlanta, Georgia, gamma only, 387, which means it's going to be a little higher, the radiation count, when it's gamma only. Chicago, Illinois, 249, gamma only. Fort Wayne, Indiana, gamma and beta, 312. Indianapolis, Indiana, gamma only, 257. St. Paul, Minnesota, gamma and beta, 346. Lincoln, Nebraska, gamma and beta, 526. Des Moines, Iowa, gamma only, 256. Aberdeen, South Dakota, gamma only. The beta reports were pulled. High beta was 1,262 CPM. Now you know why they pulled it. Gamma was 452. So think about this. If this is Aberdeen, okay, and if it's only the gamma at 452, it didn't pull the beta, and in this case somebody did catch it, it was 1,262 CPM. That was like 3 times more. All right, Rapid City, South Dakota, 433 CPM, gamma only. Kansas City, Kansas, gamma only, 324 CPM. Tulsa, Oklahoma, gamma only, 235 CPM. Little Rock, Arkansas, gamma and beta, 468. Dallas, Texas, gamma and beta, 224. San Angelo, Texas, gamma and beta, 604 CPM. Lubbock, Texas, gamma only, 298. South Valley, New Mexico, gamma only, 456. Albuquerque, New Mexico, not reporting since May 31st. 274 CPM, Grand Junction, Colorado, gamma only. Billings, Montana, gamma only, 814. Phoenix, Arizona, gamma and beta, 513. Tucson's not reporting. Las Vegas, Nevada, gamma only, 177 CPM. San Diego, gamma only, 659. Bakersfield, California, gamma and beta, 742. Los Angeles, California, gamma only, 320 CPM. San Francisco, California, gamma only, 204 CPM. Spokane, Washington, gamma only, 553. So the highest recorded radioactive city in America this week. Congrats once again to one of my favorite cities. Oh my God, Billings, Montana. And, they hit the high at 814 CPM. Bakersfield, California, again trails with 742. Which, it's not really a competition you want to be proud of. So where is the stuff really coming from? Well, last week, a perfectly reasonable person inquired, where is all this coming from? Good question. The short answer is it's falling out of the sky onto us. Not a very satisfying answer, is it? Most people want someone to blame. The someone, longer answer is the radiation comes from 2 sources. Atomic weapons and nuclear reactors. There are no other sources. Even simpler still, reactors are just very large stationary nuclear weapons, and they are slowly detonating all the time. Really dumb rich people invest in these monsters to boil water for them. All the radioactive poisons are man-made. Is a nuke reactor somewhere within 300 miles of your location? I'd look there first for the immediate culprit to blame for endangering you and your loved ones. The nuke bombs we immediately know about because they're really big single event with an attention-getting big boom. We can easily trace the bomb's 1,946 radioactive isotope children with the machines down through 7 decades since American airmen nuked Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan in 1945. The nuclear reactors are much easier to hide form of radioactive poisoning, and it takes expensive machines to detect the radiation. Reactors make the same 1,946 radioactive poisons that the nuclear weapons create, but the reactor rad poison is released over a much longer period of time. A bomb detonates in only a tiny fraction of a second. The reactor-based rad poisons have been at work in our bodies for at least 70 years now. I'm 62, and that's all my life. They are into their full stride of killing and maiming humans, and it only gets worse as the reactors operate and more explode. And you can bring up Fukushima, Japan, as a big example. By and large, most people can't afford the machines to detect the rads. They don't have a clue about radiation poisoning till they wake up dead. A famous mathematician, Sir Dr. Rosalie Bertell, says 1.7 billion of us have already bit the dust due to radiation poisoning. in the past 70 years, with more croaking all the time. So lying for the government. It's easy for glib scientists to use what I call code words for radiation poisoning. The most recent crash and burn of reactors, multiple reactors, 3 of them, possibly 4, occurred in Japan in 2011. Since then, there were 3, maybe 4. There's no way to hide them and cover up completely. One explosion blew a multi-ton reactor pot lid more than 750 feet into the air. Now that takes a lot of power. A lot of people got pictures too, so they couldn't hide it. That's when otherwise brilliant scientists started using weasel words like baffled, bewildered, and befuddled. Really, no kidding. To lie and avoid saying what was and is still killing the Pacific Ocean. I think they know exactly what it is, but they're afraid to say it. Why are they afraid? They work for the government and will certainly be fired, or worse, if they speak the R word, or radiation. Since there's really one big ocean worldwide, the whole thing is effective. Very possibly dead, and this also means curtains for us humans. That means bad, rad weather for the United States and the rest of the world also. And, you know, the global jet streams circle the world every 41 days, delivering the poisonous rad every step of the way. Now, forest fires do not really great things for radiation. Now, a pitifully conservative UN report on forest fires around the exploded and destroyed Chernobyl nuclear reactor number 4 in Chernobyl, Ukraine, found the forest fires resuspended 8% of the total rad material that hit the trees and forest floor. The radioactive material goes up in smoke again and again and can be expected in every forest fire worldwide from now on. Wow. You know, see, again, this really sucks. Let me tell you a little bit about Bob Nichols, who actually wrote this piece. He's a Project Censored Award winner, a correspondent for the San Francisco Bay View newspaper, and a frequent contributor to various online publications. He reports on war, politics, and the 2 nuclear weapon labs in the Bay Area. And Nichols is currently writing a book based on 20 years of nuclear war in Central Asia. And he's also a former employee of an Army ammunition plant. I have to say he's an incredible guy. And thank you, Bob Nichols, for compiling that information and giving everyone a heads up. And, you know, you have to, again, pay attention, guys, because, like I said, anything over 20 rads is bad. And nowhere in the United States was it under 20. I mean, 200. All right, so let's move on. And I want to just give you a little bit. I've got some good news, bad news. And before we do the energy balance and curse removal, you know, this is really bad, but the Pentagon legalized killing journalists as law of war. So they basically said it's open season on journalists, and if they don't like what you're about, they can kill you, no problem. And journalism has actually become one of the most dangerous jobs in the world now. You know, the Pentagon just changed the rules of war to include legitimizing the killing of any journalists they deem belligerent. The new laws of war were released as part of a book of instructions on legitimate warfare practices. Now that makes me want to gag. Approved by the United States military, this rule book of sorts details what the U.S. government deems the acceptable ways of killing those they claim are the enemy, including journalists whose reporting they don't approve of. Wow, you know, this is really sick again. So anyway, if you got somebody who knows of journalists, and I'm sure they already know about this, but if they don't, you may want to give them a heads up. Now, the good news is, coming from that incredible country of Iceland that's really showing us how to do it, they just jailed 7 bank executives for market manipulation. Oh my God. They put bankers in jail. It can be done. 7 of them. Not just 1, but 7. So according to the Icelandic Monitor, by fully financing share purchases with no other surety than the share themselves, the bank was accused of giving a false and misleading impression of demand for Kaupingi shares by means of deception and pretense. Wow. How awesome. Go Iceland, you rock. So, I mean, if Iceland can put these bankers in jail, my God, we certainly should be able to do it in the United States. All right, so what we're going to do is some energy work, which I know everybody's been waiting for, and actually going through the solstice and Mercury in retrograde, and now we've got the full moon coming up in a couple of days. You might want to be put back in balance and, you know, let go of everything that no longer serves you. So for those of you that have not experienced this before, what I'm going to do is open up all your chakras, your energy centers. And if you don't know where they're at, you have one at the top of your head, your third eye, your throat, heart, solar plexus, belly button, your root chakra. You've got some in your feet, in each of your hands. And those are the major ones. And this keeps the body energy flowing. If you are somebody that doesn't speak the truth, your throat chakra can close down and you can have throat issues. If you're a person that really has a hard time expressing love, well, you can have heart issues. So we're going to get those open and flowing. And at the end, I'm going to remove curses and just energy that no longer serves you. And it's very, very powerful. I've gotten letters from many people all over the world saying how much it's really helped them and how better they feel and how their lives seem to be moving forward. And I really want you to be happy. I want you to be moving forward. We want those obstacles out of your way. We want to quantum leap the world into enlightenment. And to do that, you need to move forward. You need to be happy and successful. So if this little bit of energy work can help you at all, then it's a win-win for everybody. So I want you to do, sit down, put your feet flat on the floor, put your palms up like you're going to receive, because you are. And sit straight up. Put your head straight up. And when you do that, you are totally reconnected with the Creator. And you have that energy just flowing right down your spine. So now what I'd like you to do is start taking some gentle deep breaths, and not so you're going to hyperventilate on me, all right? You're going to breathe in light, and you're going to exhale out everything that no longer serves you. And imagine that energy going through the violet flame back to God, and you breathe in more light. And as you're doing that, I surround each and every one of you in a bubble of golden flame. I add to that the blue flame of protection, the violet flame of transmutation, the green flame of healing, and I seal you in the pink flame of love. And we're going to call to your teachers, guides, masters, and the angels that are working with you and invite them in and ask for help to make this energy work as very gentle, loving, and kind as we can. And anywhere that you hurt, I'm going to want you to imagine these big angel light tools over that area. And it's going to draw out that energy that no longer serves you. And you're going to fill it up with light. So I want you to take one more deep breath and exhale out everything that no longer serves you. That energy goes through the violet flame back to God, and you fill up with your divine essence. And now I want you to imagine this incredible healing energy coming down from God. And feel that energy come on to the top of your head. And you can imagine it flow down as a warmth if you want. And as it flows through your brain, let it activate your God brain and feel every cell, atom, molecule in your brain. Reconnect with the Creator. And now answers come to you easily. You're very divinely inspired. You have clarity on your missions, and you're full of joy. So allow that energy to flow now out your third eye, in the middle of your forehead. And now feel that divine energy flow down even farther now. And feel it come out of your throat chakra. And allow that divine energy to flow even farther. And now let it come out of your heart chakra. And feel that divine energy now flow down even farther. So it's coming out of your solar plexus chakra. And if you hear me burp, I'm burping up stuck energy. I'm not being crude, okay? It's better than farting and throwing up. So again, let's just allow that energy flow down and let it come out of your solar plexus one more time. And feel that healing high God energy flow down even farther. And let it flow out your belly button chakra. And now feel that energy come out of your sacral chakra. And now let that energy come out of your root chakra. And feel that divine energy flow all the way down your legs. Let it go out your feet and send it into the earth. Let it flow down your arms and out your hands. And let it flow down your spine. So I want you to take one more deep breath. And this time as you exhale, imagine anything in your body that no longer serves you, that's left inside, being gently released as you exhale. And then breathe normal. As you're doing that, I call to Michael the Archangel to come forth and cut all ties to any energy you've taken on that's not yours. Whether it's from a friend, relative, acquaintance, stranger, anybody you work with, TV set, animal, whatever the karmic reason is that created anything out of balance in your life or your body today, and as all that unwanted energies peeled off of you gently like an onion skin, it all goes through the violet flame back to God, and you fill up with your divine essence. And now I want Michael to come forth, cut all ties to reptile, dinosaur energy, secret societies, organized religion, cut all ties to any oaths, vows, curses, hexes, rituals that could have been done to you or your family, going backwards and forwards, hundreds of thousands of generations, or anything you could have done, consciously or unconsciously. And as all that unwanted energy too's peeled off of you gently like an onion skin, it all goes through the violet flame back to God, and you fill up with more of your divine essence. And now I want Michael to come forth, cut all ties to any effigies that have been misused against you, and that's any elemental of yours that was used to hurt you or anyone, including anything you own, clothes, hair, picture, your name spoken, written, just thought of, or anything you have your energy on. And as ties to all those elementals are cut, I call the violet flame through them to clean it up, the angel light energy to heal. We fill them up with love and we command them to be neutral or only emit love. And now I want Michael to come forth and remove any energy implants that have been done to you or anything they could have carried over from any other lifetime because of dark magic, voodoo, dark witchcraft, or even just dark thoughts. So I want the stick, pin, needle, or knife that's in your crown chakra removed from your third eye, your throat, heart, solar plexus, belly button, root, feet, hands, spine, your eyes, ears, nose, mouth, hips, teeth, anywhere in your body that's out of balance. And as you feel all those pins, needles, and knives being very gently removed, imagine all those spaces immediately fill up with the violet flame to clean it up, the angel light energy to heal. We release all that unwanted energy back to God, and you fill up with your divine essence. And now I want Michael to come forth, cut all ties to patriarchy, genocide, rape, incest, slavery, prostitution, persecution, circumcision, removing any energy overlay that's trying to manipulate you, keeping you from connecting with God, healing yourself, being really successful, fulfilling all your divine missions, and living your life in joy. And as all that unwanted energy, it's keeping all these wonderful things from coming to you, is gently released. It all goes through the violet flame back to God, and you fill up with more of your divine essence. So if there is anybody out there that's directing any kind of dark energy work, whether through its black magic, ritual, or even dark thoughts, we're going to ask them to step forward in the light and stop doing it. Because if they're doing it to you, they are doing it to others. We're going to ask them to step forward in the light. And if they choose not to, which is their free will, I ask their higher selves and their guardian angels to put them in a position of harmlessness. I surround them in a bubble of mirror. The mirror faces them. It's 2 inches from their nose. And as long as they do any of their dark work, that energy stays contained in that bubble of mirror. But I add the violet flame to it to transmute that energy so they have no forward movement. And this bubble of mirror stays up 24/7, 365 days a year until they do works of good. So now I call your higher self. I'm going to ask your higher self to activate your divine blueprint for perfect health. And it starts manifesting in your body now. So I want you to start taking some gentle, deep breaths. And again, don't hyperventilate on me. And I want you to allow all this energy to integrate in a very gentle, kind, loving way with your cells, your atoms, your molecules, all your internal organs going all the way down into your DNA. And with every breath, you're going to allow this energy to integrate even more. And it's going to keep integrating for the rest of the show while we're doing our planetary healing circle, which we're going to start right now. So I want you to imagine everyone, we're in this huge circle. You've got someone to the right, to your left. You're reconnected with Source. That healing energy is coming down from your golden cord that's from the top of your head, flowing through your body. And now you're going to send it out through the right. And as the energy flows through the right, we're going to put my big Earth Keeper crystal, 1,000-pound crystal, to amplify the work. And we're going to call to all the rock stones, crystals on the planet, all the other earth keepers to lock into this crystal and amplify our work 100,000-fold. We call the Sai Baba, Shirdi Baba, Prima Sai, Jesus, Mother Mary, Krishna, all the gods and goddesses of light, past, present, future, all the angels to join us. Add their energy to what we're doing, amplify this light circle. Now send love and light to the left, and as it flows, the circle is closed. So only that which is light may enter. We're going to send this energy to the trees, and she's going to send it into the earth through her roots, and out through the branches like antenna. She's going to send the energy so everyone can react in a positive light. We call to all the grids, ley lines, meridians, domes, obelisks, all the sacred and holy spots on the planet to lock into this circle. And I ask that everyone participating and listening tonight receives a healing, and that you guide us into doing not our will, but thy will be done. So be it. So imagine yourself releasing those hands, and you're going to put your hands in the center, or if you want, you can put them up, palms out, and you're going to have that divine energy now flow all the way through your body, down your arms, out your hands. And we're going to form this beautiful bubble of light. And in this bubble of light, we're going to put all the indigenous tribes on the planet, especially all of them that are speaking out for the planet. We're going to send them all the energy they need to be successful. And we're going to ask the Creator now to bring them everything they need, all the money, the attorneys, the support they need to stand firm for Mother Earth. This goes to the Hawaiians that are standing up against this huge 30-mile telescope on Mount Mauna Kea, the largest mountain, by the way, on Earth. We're sending them energy. And we're also going to put in this bubble of light all the tractors, all the equipment that is now being used illegally to take things out of the Mother Earth, to mine it, to be disruptive over sacred burial sites, sacred heiaus. And as we cut ties to all that equipment, we violet flame it to clean it up, reconnect it with the Creator, and we command it to be neutral, to break down, to not work, to not function. We're also going to put all the police and all the National Guard, if they're called in, and the sheriffs that are sent there to keep the protesters from doing their divine missions. And we're going to ask that each and every one of those officers are reconnected to the Creator and that become awakened spiritual beings and now see all these protesters and defenders of the earth. You can have an indigenous soul and be a defender of the earth in a white body. Let them see these defenders of the earth as brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, aunts, uncles, cousins, relatives, homies, that they wouldn't dare hurt or harm. Let them show the utmost respect. And if they have to, lay down their arms and join the other side that's protecting the earth. So fill this bubble of light up with light and love, and let's take a deep breath and release it. So again, take a deep breath and feel that divine energy flow down. We're going to create another bubble of light. And in this bubble of light, let's put in everyone that you know that needs healing. And you can do this silently or out loud. And as we put them in this bubble of light, imagine them laying on tables of angel light or sitting in chairs of angel light. And we're going to surround them in angel light. And that angel light's going to absorb their dis-ease. And while this is happening, we're going to call again to Michael the Archangel to come forth and cut all ties to whatever energy is that created this out of balanceness, this dis-ease in their body. And we're going to call the violet flame to burn, to transmute. And we're going to ask each and every one of these people, we're going to call to their higher selves and ask their higher selves to help them reconnect to the Creator and to become an awakened spiritual being, awakened and open to new possibilities, and able to receive the healing. Now, I also want you to put in this bubble of light, if you haven't already yourself, the rest of your family, and put in this bubble of light people that you're having trouble with, that you're fighting with, that there's communication trouble. And as you do this, I'm going to call to Michael the Archangel to cut the ties with whatever is between you that's keeping harmony from flowing. And remove those veils between you. And feel from your heart, going to their heart, this wonderful, beautiful love energy. And as it flows back and forth, heart to heart, there's a healing. Now, you don't have to make them your best buddies. but allow for there to be a healing and release and let go of that energy because it doesn't serve anybody. And with your rest of the family, feel that love flow from your heart to their heart. And let everyone be divinely inspired on how they can create harmony and a functional family life in the home and how you can help each other. And the more help you give each other, the happier you become. Because it's family. And this can extend out to your extended family and your spiritual family. Let everyone just feel that love and raise to a higher vibration. So there's just harmony and peace between everybody. I know there's enough people listening, and with everyone combined, this energy is profound. Nothing can stop the energy of love. All right, blast this energy and take a deep breath and release the circle. Now I'm going to ask everybody to pay attention to what's around you. Can you feel the energy around you? What does it feel like? Does it feel sparkly? Does it feel real soft? Because I'm asking that the energy of love just surrounds you. So if it becomes very, very soft, you're just in this wonderful, loving cocoon, energy of love and healing. And I'm going to ask Spirit to keep you there for the rest of this time. So we're going to fill again this bubble up with light and love and take a deep breath and release it. All right, again, feel that divine energy flow down. We're going to create another bubble of light. And in this bubble of light, we're going to put the state of California in it. And we're going to call Michael the Archangel to cut the ties with whatever is creating lack of rain and drought. Whether it's man-made, HAARP, geoengineering, the CERN, or magic. And we cut that from their sources. We violet flame the whole area. And now we're going to send the angel light energy to heal. Now we're going to reconnect all of these areas back to the Creator. In the middle of California, we're going to put this huge 20,000-pound crystal. And we're going to command this big Earth Keeper crystal now to help the state go back into balance and bring rain back into the area. So I want everyone now to envision these huge fields of giant ionizers that look like big metal palm trees with wires erected to generate waves of negative ions which rise into the lower atmosphere and attract dust particles. The dust particles in turn attract condensation from the ambient air, and when enough condensation is achieved, the clouds can't hold water, and a downpour of rain is created. And enough rain so it replenishes all the water supplies, including all lakes, riverbeds, streams, personal water catchments, and all underground aquifers. Now, we're also going to ask that in this area, there's a big drop in barometric pressure, which pulls all the clouds into the area. We call to any water elemental in the area to now release moisture into the air, including ocean rivers, lake streams, puddles, water catchments. As the moisture is released into the air along with negative charged ions, we see clouds begin to form, getting darker and heavier as it fills with moisture. So imagine the clouds growing in size, getting darker, and all these clouds now magnify into this and magnetize to the state of California, and it rains. And everywhere where there's fire, we're going to cut the ties again, call to Michael the Archangel to cut the ties. And we violet flame that area where there's fire, and we command the fire elemental to burn that anger out through the violet flame. We call to the firemen and women, and we ask that they be divinely inspired on where to put the water elemental to put the fire out quickly, and in a way where no one will be hurt or harmed. So now let's fill this energy up with much love and see rain there. See rain in the California where everyone has enough water. And any other place on the planet that's lack of rain. Imagine this happening in that area. All right, so let's fill it all up with light and love, and let's take a deep breath and release it. So again, let's imagine another big, incredible bubble of light forming, and let's put the military and the police in this bubble of light. So we call to the higher selves of everyone in the military and police, foreign and domestic, to help you step forward in the light, reconnect with the Creator, become conscious beings, see all the protesters and people of foreign lands as your family, friends, aunts, uncles, sons, and daughters, and lay down your weapons, choosing not to hurt nor harm anyone. This includes all in need in our country that was hurt by natural disasters. We ask that the divine to awaken your spiritual being, allowing love, compassion, kindness, caring, peace, and divine love to flow through your body, mind, and spirit. We ask your higher selves to let you do humanitarian works that bring you joy. The more good you do, the happier you become. We call to the elementals of war that we now cut you free from your masters, cleanse with the violet flame, reconnecting you to the Creator, and command you to be neutral, to misfire, not to work, go off course, and choose not to hurt nor harm any life form. See all military and police equipment breaking down and not functioning, if not being used to help humanity. So let's send lots of protection, light, and divine inspiration to those peaceful protesters and all in need of help. See all religious groups coming together and working out a divinely inspired, mutually beneficial plan for everyone in the world. May divine peace, calm, brotherhood, enlighten inspiration for putting together balanced governments descend down around everyone now. So let's fill this bubble of light up with light and love. Take a deep breath and release it. All right, so let's do one more bubble of light and feel it again flow down, that energy, and out your hands, creating another bubble of light. And in this bubble of light, I'm going to put your divine missions and all the divine missions of all the light workers on the planet. And I ask that they be given positive forward movement. We're going to put the angels in this bubble of light, see them recharge, regenerating. All the activists, all the people that are sticking up for the world, speaking out for the world, doing works of good. Let them be recharged, regenerated, and just filled with all this kind of divine inspiration on how they can move forward. Let joy fill the planet. Let peace and quantum leaping the world into enlightenment permeate everyone's hearts, minds, bodies, and souls to help us move into that golden age. So fill everything up with light and love, and let's take a deep breath and release it. So now we're going to close the circle, and we're going to do 3 ohms. And really, if we were all together, it would just be so much incredible harmony, because that's what crystals do. So I want you to imagine yourself putting your hand on the crystal, and let's do 3 ohms to close. Om, 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 Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May all the beings in all worlds be happy. So everybody, we release all the gods and goddesses and all the divine beings that came, and thank you for showing up. Imagine yourself releasing everybody's hands, and now we've got to ground. So imagine your feet on the, put your feet on the floor, and feel the earth energy now come up. Come up your legs. With every breath, feel yourself grounding, and you're becoming back in body, more clear-headed, more grounded. Answers are going to come to you very easily. You're going to get a really good night's sleep tonight and wake up in the morning feeling very refreshed, clear-headed, and answers to everything you're looking for, you've been asking. The answers come easy. You're divinely inspired. And feel again that divine energy just ground you. Feel your energies pull back in body. You become very clear-headed. Now, for everybody who's still lightheaded, I'm going to ask that if you have your stone called hematite, to go grab that. If you got hematite jewelry, hold on to it for a few minutes, just until you don't feel lightheaded. And if you don't have that, go eat something. That always, helps ground you. And, you can always go hug a tree. Put your hands on the tree. Imagine yourself sending all the excess energy in the tree. And then ask the tree to send you energy back. And you ground. That's how easy it is. Now we're coming up with the 4th of July weekend. I think it's next weekend. And be very, very kind and considerate for all those veterans out there who have come back from war. What am I talking about? Well, if you've been to war and heard all kinds of bombs go off and stuff like that, you might react if you come back here to where it's peaceful and all of a sudden have fireworks go off. So if you've got a veteran in your neighborhood and you know it, show some kindness and courtesy and maybe don't light those fireworks. What a concept, Those guys did something for our country. They sacrificed themselves and, a lot of them have post-traumatic stress, and they can react from all the fireworks. So, have some courtesy and, pay attention to who's in your neighborhood in the right way. And if you've got veterans, then, go somewhere else to light your firecrackers, your fireworks. That's all. It's not a big deal. If you want something really nice to happen in your life, well, do something nice for somebody. What they say, do a random act of kindness. Because what you're doing is you're creating space for somebody to do something nice for you. And besides, when you do it enough, by golly, it makes you feel good, okay? And do something. You don't have to know the person to do something nice, and even a smile at the right time is nice and lovely. And that doesn't cost you anything. How many of you actually practice working with the energy of love? What did you experience? This is not a thing that costs you money, and it's not a lot of effort. If somebody is angry, instead of reacting to them, send them love energy and watch what happens. 2 things will happen. 1, if they're uncomfortable with the energy, they'll leave the room. And 2, they'll either resonate with you and laugh at themselves. And either way, you win, and you're doing a wonderful service because you're helping them shift their energy and get out of that anger mode, which, by the way, feeds all that darkness out there, which you don't want to do. And it's fun to see somebody shift. How lovely. And for those of you, if you want a more personal energy work done, you can call me at my store in Hawaii, and it's 808-775-9400. Write to me. I love hearing your letters, receiving your letters, and hearing what you think about the program. And if you've got any suggestions, I'll throw that out, which I don't ever do. Oh my God. You can catch me on Facebook under Cathy Bilsky, and I'm also on YouTube. I'm on Google+. I've got a lot of videos there. If you go on my website, www.angellighteom.com, ANGELITEOM.com, I have my curse removal energy balancing there that you can download for free and do it over and over. I call it the maintenance program, and you can do it for your friends and your loved ones and yourself, and keep yourself clear. I have a couple books, but I have all my cool Angel Light products online. And, anybody can be a healer. It's really nice pain and stress release using angel light and crystals. You can also go on Facebook where I put a lot of my power prayers out, and we're doing energy work all the time. And this Thursday, where we're going to do our light circle, we're going to focus on cutting the Nazis off from their sacred symbols, from misusing sacred symbols. So that will be a powerful night. And if you can't show up at my store at 7 o'clock on Hawaii time, then just get quiet and send energy into my big crystal, and we'll take that energy and put it to good use. So do your best with this full moon coming up not to get into arguments. And remember, when you're going to start thinking about people, it's about people maybe aren't into your life, that maybe you've got unfinished business with, or they're just thinking about you. We're a very telepathic people. Just people don't think about it so much. So, watch your emotions. Try not to get so angry and walk away. And use that energy of love. Work with it. Play with it. I mean, really. Working with the energy of love. If everybody would do it, we would be in such an incredible planet right now and have it, wouldn't we? So for those of you that remember, do it, because, you're starting that ripple effect. And you never know who you're affecting just by a smile. And I keep using the smile because that is so free and so easy to do. And it can change a person's life. I don't know, I like it when people smile at me. It gives me warm fuzzies. It's good for all that water elemental that my body's made up of. So try spreading some joy this week. And don't buy into the military 4th of July stuff, okay? And on that note, have a wonderful week and aloha.
Drowning in debt. Don't get me wrong. This country is founded on great ideals and principles. They've all been ruined by the banks. Open your eyes to banks that are robbing you. You know who my favorite president was? Oh, Thomas Jefferson. Because he saw all of this coming and tried to stop it. He fought the banks. JFK too, and they killed him for it. The banking institution is more dangerous than an army, he said. He also said that every generation needs a revolution, Jimmy. The American dream is just that. Just a dream. War is a continuation of politics, only by other means. Politics is a continuation of economics by other means. This is our bank. This is our war. And this is our plan of attack.
Banks have become an essential threat to our democracy. So consider this justice.
Thank you for listening to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com, the #1 listener-supported radio station on the internet. Please help support this station so this battle can continue forward. Revolution Radio!
Enjoy your extra big-ass fries.
You didn't give me no fries. I got an empty box.
Would you like another? Extra big-ass fries.
I said I didn't get any.
Thank you. Your account has been charged. Your balance is 0. Please come back when you can afford to make a purchase.
No.
I'm sorry.